Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. So I am here as promised with another allegedly celebrity reading. And y'all have been like sending all these questions about this up and coming singer. Now the initial story was that she's going to actually be bigger than Michael Jackson. I think that is virtually impossible, and I feel like Michael's spirit has even spoken with the success of his recent movie, the recent movie about him. Even from the grave, this man is still undefeated. I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible. I believe he's a once in a lifetime artist. He was just a special person. So I have since started to call this artist the person who will replace Beyonce. I think that's more realistic. I think that's more practical, probable. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick to that, even though I feel like this person is not going to beat the MJ allegations, meaning that there will be some similarities. I've kind of talked about what I feel Michael will have to do with this, if anything at all, like spiritually. Like it's almost giving me like a prophecy that wasn't completely fulfilled, and it could come through this person, and maybe that's why people are picking up the MJ energy. But yeah, there will never be another Michael Jackson. I'm so sorry. That's not going to happen. But we can work with Beyonce because Beyonce is someone that is, I mean, you know, she can be replaced. She can. I think she's a great artist, but she's not Michael Jackson. He was just a phenomenon, you know. I think it's even disrespectful to mention anybody in the same breath as him. But I did want to say this, though. I went to see his movie last week. Wanted to wait for the second week so we could avoid like a big crowd. It still was packed. But it was such a good movie to me. I've been seeing some of the reviews. I've even seen people give it like a 5 out of 10, and I'm like, nah, this is definitely not a 5 out of 10. I think it moved quickly, but I think because there's a lot of ground to cover, and so they had to get a lot in a short amount of time. I do believe they're supposed to be making like 2 additional movies. I believe so. Don't know when, but one of the things that stood out to me, though, I remember saying in one of my previous readings about this celebrity that it's almost like I was getting like Michael Jackson's spirit, like in this person, like this person embodying a similar energy, the same kind of energy, almost like channeling him. And when we went to see this movie, I thought, oh my God, his nephew channeled him. He did such a good job that I literally felt like I was watching, with the exception of some of the phenotypical, you know, differences in the fact that I knew that it wasn't him, obviously. But he did such a good job that I really felt like Michael's energy was there. Like it was in his nephew. And I was like, wouldn't it be interesting if this is the person that's going to somehow catch on? Because I'm noticing he's getting a lot of fanfare. I don't know if y'all been noticing this. He's been all on my TikTok, all on my YouTube timeline. And all of a sudden he has these diehard fans. And I'm like, this is so wild. And you know, he does make music. And I even saw one of his music videos. I didn't watch it, but it popped up for me. So they're even pushing him through the algorithm now. And it had like 15 million views on it. And it's from a couple years ago. So I was like, interesting. He might be one to watch. I have never listened to his music, so I don't know what he sounds like. But with the right packaging, production, and following up on this movie, he definitely has to win an Oscar. He has to. If not, it's going to be highway robbery. But let's get into this reading. Now, y'all questions are all over the place. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, trying to figure out what these questions are saying. I don't know if there's a language barrier, but I'm like, what are these questions talking about? I'm going to start with the ones that I really can clearly understand. All right, so someone asked me, is she black or biracial? I don't know that the tarot cards would tell me that, but let's see what I can pick up intuitively. 2 of Pentacles, Capricorn, Jupiter. Okay. For some reason, that gives me dark. That gives me darker skin. The Magician. Okay, Gemini and Virgo energy. Mercury. And the 7 of Cups with the Knight of Swords. This person might be like Michael. Gemini, Virgo, like Beyonce. Mercury energy is here twice. Well, the Knight of Swords is not Mercury, but it's Gemini. They might be multiracial with the 7 of Cups. because that always gives me like a lot of different options here. I feel like this person could very well be biracial, multiracial, multicultural. But then the magician shows up as one, like a unified. I'll put it to you like this: maybe multicultural, maybe biracial. If this is a person who's just one race, though, it gives me a darker hue. I don't get that this person will have fair skin. That's not to say they can't be a light-skinned black person or a light-skinned Hispanic person or something like that, like a person of color. But I get that this person will be classified as like a brown person, okay? And black people are obviously brown too. None of us are actually black. You know what I mean? Show me a little bit more about this person's look. The Emperor. They have a strong presence. Very creative. And then the Six of Swords. So I do think one of the other questions is she from America? And this would show me that possibly not. Possibly not with the Six of Swords. That's talking about travel overseas. And I think I kind of got that before. Now, that could mean that this person is multicultural. And so they could be American or, you know, some other nationality, but they could also have a dual, I would want to say dual citizenship. Could be that too. But it could be that this person is like their father, because this is showing up as the father. So maybe on their father's side, they come from like a foreign land, or maybe he represents the one that's actually like America or something like that. And then there's another aspect to this person. What is the other aspect to them though? Because I do feel like I'm getting like a brown complexion, and that could mean any number of things. But let's see. A lot of masculine energy here though. I'm not really seeing feminine energy, which is interesting. Okay, Three of Cups. All right, Cancer, Mercury. So Mercury is here twice. The Devil. Yeah, I definitely get somebody of a darker hue. All right. I don't know. I get somebody that has darker skin. But that doesn't have to mean that they're going to be black. It may not be as cut and dry as that. For sure. It may be a combination. But I feel like there's black in it, okay? Black mixed in there somewhere. Okay. So your next question is she already making music but not known yet? You got the King of Pentacles. It's showing up as a Virgo. That's not true, but maybe it's a Virgo, because I do feel like there's a lot of Virgo and Gemini energy on the table. So that could definitely be a sign. However, this person, this is a yes, but let me see. Is this person already making music? Three of Swords. They could be a struggling artist. I know one thing. They are a master of their craft, whoever they are. Yeah, we don't know them yet. We don't know them yet. And if I put it to you like this, if it is at all possible that we know them, they're going to rebrand. Because they're showing up as the High Priestess with the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords talks about like actually having awareness, situational awareness. And then the High Priestess is more of a secretive energy. It's more of like the unknown. Seeing beyond the veil. I do feel like this is like a spiritual insight into this window. This person that's coming, the initials B or J may end up being significant with this person. Now, this could also be showing me, I do feel like this person will be, they give me Michael Jackson energy. They truly do. They give me Beyonce energy too, where I keep telling y'all they're shy in their regular everyday life, but they're a master of their craft. And when they get on stage, when they go in the studio, when they make their music, they know what they're doing. They are extremely articulate as well, but they are selective what they speak about. So I do feel like this is a person that keeps their private life private. I see all of that. I continuously see that with this person. And it definitely gives me both Michael and Beyonce. However, I do feel like we are all getting a glimpse into something that's to come. Like people are sensing it, they're feeling it. But as far as actually seeing it, I don't think it's to come. It has come yet, because the Ace of Swords is facing the future, which means that it's something that is yet to be exposed. It's still behind the veil. Do I think this person is born already? Most likely. Doesn't have to be, but most likely. So they're not making music yet. if they are making music, they're an unknown. That's what that's telling me. Okay, they could be writing with the Ace of Swords. They could be, you know, very creative, getting ideas. Yeah, look at this, the Hangman. They're not making music yet. That's Pisces energy. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Pisces, and Cancer energy. Okay, so I already answered this question. Is she making music but it's not famous yet? No, if they are making music, it's not famous yet. But I feel like this person could either be a struggling artist or somebody who hasn't even gotten their foot in the door yet. Okay, is it someone mainstream or someone with social accounts? Five of Pentacles? No. Is it someone mainstream or someone with social accounts? Justice card. That's a yes. Okay, you got a no, you got a yes. What else? You got the Two of Wands. This person really might be long distance. They keep showing up as possibly being from another part of the world. And I say that in relation to the United States. So this gives me that this person is still in the planning stages. Like they're getting their ducks in a row. If this person is in fact of age and like starting their career and, you know, all of that good stuff, it does feel like they're in the planning stages. Yeah. And I also feel like this wouldn't be a person that would really be on social media like that, especially not running their own account. I mean, it's like if I were to imagine if Michael Jackson were to be alive during this time, even though social media was around when he was alive, right? Not like it is now, but it was around. I don't know what his, you know, situation was back then as far as social media goes, but I could never really imagine Michael Jackson sitting on social media interacting with people. This person will be much like that. Just like with Beyonce, is she really posting on her own social media? Probably not. They have a team of people that handle those things. But I feel like this person is not yet. They're not known yet. And they're not showing up as being known yet, even though I actually do have two yeses here. But the Two of Wands shows me the energy of like planning. It's just planning. Okay. All right, so what's the next one? Are they already signed to a label? I don't think so, but let's see. Page of Pentacles. I feel like they're still learning the ropes, y'all. This person is still young. Page of Pentacles. You know, it gives me, speaking of his movie, and even when you think about Beyonce, the way they train so hard, you know, the Page of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They're both Virgos. And they're hard workers. They're diligent workers. They're dedicated to their craft. And that's what this is, drive and ambition and enthusiasm. But this is like the stage where you're studying. You're open-minded. You're learning. And so it does feel like this is a person that's just like setting their goals right now. And they are being consistent and they're working hard. But they're showing up as a youth. Now, this does go up to 18 years old. So they could be as old as 18. They really could. I do not think they are signed to a label right now. I think they're training. I think they're practicing. I think they're mastering their craft. Could very well be an earth sign or a Virgo person. Earth or air. I feel the strongest. Yeah, this person is still young. Six of Cups. Yeah, they are not signed to a label yet. I'm not even going to read these cards as yes or no as what they represent, because this will be two yeses. But no, they're not. What else? We got the Seven of Wands. No, they're still figuring themselves out. This is challenges, obstacles. Yeah, really fighting tooth and nail for their dreams, their goals. This is a person that's still in the infancy of their career. So no. All right, so let me see. Moving to the next questions. Have this question: will there ever be a point where Beyonce's own fan base start to fall off? Okay. Yeah. Four of Swords. Yes. It's taking a break. They're going to grow up. They're going to mature. Also, there could be a scandal. Something that happens, or just getting tired of her, you know. Outgrowing her. Okay, let's see. The Star. There she is as the Star. Beyonce is going to always be a star. I do feel like there could be, just as y'all know, the recent news about her husband has really made a lot of people turn against her. excuse me, this is like a point of recovery after like something heartbreaking, something controversial. It's kind of what it's giving me. Beyonce's already solidified her spot though, so we're not going to sit here and pretend like she hasn't been working her butt off for what, the better part of like 30 years. I think it's exactly 30 years. 1996 is when they came out, I believe. Yeah, I mean, that woman has been working for a long time. She's a consummate professional. That's why I say I'm not about to hate on somebody. Just, you know, she's the master of her craft. She truly is. She still ain't Michael Jackson, but she is a star. She's earned her success. You know, I don't know what she did behind the scenes, but the woman has a strong work ethic. People will get tired of her, though, in the sense that she's getting older. She's going to be laying low a little bit more, but she's already solidified her spot. Does she have a star on the Walk of Fame? Does she? Because that could be what this is showing me. This could be a period of like retirement. Like after she puts out Act 3, she might actually like really chill. She may be like rushing these projects, not really rushing, but pushing these projects back to back, touring back to back because she wants to be done with something. I don't know if she is fulfilling her contract with the record label. You know how you are signed for a certain amount of albums? I'm not exactly sure if that's what it is, but it feels like she's ready to relax. Beyonce's tired. I keep telling y'all that she's tired. Poor thing, she's been working for a long time. She's tired. Okay, so let me see more about her fan base. Oh, they start to fall off. 5 of Swords. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, there may be something that comes out. There may be something that gets exposed that might be really detrimental to her reputation. Because this is what's done in the dark comes out in the light. There's something here that we don't know. And whatever it is, it may create some drama. This is melodrama, controversy, hostility. She's going to always have her fan base, her beehive, right? Overzealous fans. They're always going to be there. But as people mature, as they grow up and, you know, realize that you shouldn't idolize someone, they'll start to outgrow her. And also, she's going to be slowing down. She's going to be slowing down. There's things going on behind the scenes with Beyonce that we are just not ever going to be privy to. She's a very insulated artist. She's a very protected artist. And I talked about this in the last reading, and someone confirmed for me that Beyonce is in fact related to Queen Elizabeth. I mean, you know, not direct descendants and relatives, but they are of the same bloodline. And I figured it had to be something like that. But yeah, her spot is already solidified. She's not going to necessarily lose her notoriety, but her fans are growing. Some of them are starting to have doubts and questions about some of the stories that have come out about her. So a lot of them are going to start to kind of phase out. That's not going to impact her though, because like I said, she's already who she is. All right, so let's see, because if Beyonce puts spells on her fans to make them see her as number one, and if the beehive sees the girl's work is, I don't know what this is. I think it's undoubtedly supposed to, I don't know. Beyond Beyonce's level, and they have the same level of singing and dancing. Are they under the spell? Will they ever start to feel very off? So I do feel like there is possibly something going on with the moon here. You know, the moon, the star. Beyonce very much does feel like she is not interested in losing her position. I don't think she will literally lose her position. I don't. There's going to always be diehard Beyonce fans. I mean, there have been so many stories that have come out recently, and there are people still saying like they don't play about her. You know, unfortunately, it's part of idol worship, and you literally have the star here. So I do feel like there are people, look at this, fighting, arguing, bickering, you know, fighting tooth and nail. But this is an energy I feel for Beyonce. There's a sadness I feel when I read on anything that has to do with her. I always feel like she's almost like a trapped star, just like Michael Jackson, where they have all this fanfare, success, and fame and all of this, but beneath it all, they don't know who they are outside of the spotlight. Michael said he just wanted to love a woman. He just wanted to have a normal relationship. Just think about all of the things that we as regular people take for granted, right? And these stars don't even know what that feels like. And we are actually richer than them because we have the true love. I mean, having people adore you on a stage is one thing, but I feel like Beyonce is always longing for a sense of normalcy. And I don't think she even knows what that looks like because she came in the industry young as well. You know, it's one of these things that's a trade-off. Yeah, so her fans are her fans, but The moon is here. She could very well be into some magic. I believe she is. I'm not about to say and act like I don't think she is. I do think she is. And then showing up as high priestess energy over here. That question that the person asked me, what was it? Is it someone already mainstream or someone with social accounts? And I get the high priestess and the ace of swords. You know, this person's role in all of this. This is all divine. There's a spiritual, I keep telling you, there's a spiritual undertone to this person's energy. It is not, this is not somebody just coming because they're talented. Okay. There is an energy of almost like I said before, MJ's energy being reborn in someone else. It's not going to duplicate his success. It's not going to replace him. But the energy is very Michael-like. Very Michael-like. To the point where I even feel like the person may be a bit odd. Like they may be, like people say he's strange, he's odd, he's weird or whatever. I mean, I feel like Michael was who he was. It didn't bother me that he was who he was. None of the things about him that people talked about bothered me. I mean, I'm not talking about the accusations. I mean, like, you know, the way he chose to look, that's his business. That's his face. That's his body. You know, I never really felt any kind of way about it. I just went with it. Like, I don't know. Like there was something otherworldly about him, and this is ethereal energy, and I just feel like was here with this person. So the reason why their energy is being felt, even if they're not born yet, because they may not be, or they're very young, the reason why their energy is so potent and so many people are reading on them, because I see y'all asking a lot of people to do these readings. Sometimes they pop up on my feed. I haven't watched any of them though, but I do feel like the reason why so many people are feeling it, and this is about feeling, intuition, you know, your sixth sense, it's because this person is coming to bring some major information, change, whatever. We're going to look at some more cards in a minute, like kind of off of these questions, but I did want to go through the questions. So let me get back to it. So are they under a spell? Beyonce said something about she charges her crystals in the moonlight or something on a song. I don't know what that song is, but I heard her say that in the song. She does. She does, because she wants to reign supreme. She always wants to be at the top. She feels like the only person she's really okay with being second to is Michael Jackson. And I think that's just a reverence thing. It's not because she's like, oh, I don't want to be as big as him. But she knows. That's the bar. That's where the bar is set right there. Ain't nobody surpassing that. I'm sorry. I just do not see it. But are these people under a spell? And will they ever start to pull away from Beyonce? Spirit, what do you have to say about this? The Sun. It says, yes, they are under a spell. They are magnetized to her. She does things to compel people. Whatever magic she's into is to compel people. What I said, what's done in the dark comes out in the light. That's what the sun and the moon together means. Yeah, there's definitely truth to her, allegedly. Did I forget to say that? Everything is alleged and for entertainment purposes only, even though the reading is called Allegedly Celebrity. What's going on with the sun here? Also her attractiveness. Seven of Pentacles. See, but this to me is like, I've been working, I've been laboring, I've been toiling. I put the work in. And so people cannot deny that. People see the fruits of her labor. They see the effort that she puts in. She's always going to have that respect. She is always going to have that respect. I do feel like, though, with the moon going into the sun, going into the Seven of Pentacles, which can be about reading the fine print, it does feel like to me, people are going to start to have questions about things. You know what it's going to be? Her getting older. That's what it is. Her getting older, her not being able to do the glamour magic on you anymore. You know, the ritualistic dances and the performances that keep everybody under the spell. What happens when you have to sit down? Have y'all noticed lately she hasn't been really dancing as much? She dances sometimes, but she's been doing a lot more sitting, things of that nature. And I do feel like that gives people really a glimpse into who you are. The facade is falling away. But again, her spot is solidified because she's already put the labor in. She's already done it. Will her fans fall off? I do not believe in, droves. Look at this. Beyonce may end up becoming very reclusive. She has a cult-like following, though. It's never going to stop. Virgo energy again. What else? The Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, her spot is already solidified. It just simply is what it is. Beyonce is going to always have her hands in the industry in some kind of way. I feel like I just said, her sitting. Look at her now. She's sitting. And this is like comfort. This is like, you know what? I've earned my keep. I've put in the work. I am who I am. She's the queen. She's showing up as the Queen of Pentacles. That's a secure spot. So her fans are always going to be her fans. There will be people who do mature, because this is maturation. There will be people who mature and they will look at it more so like, I'm glad I got to experience that in my lifetime. They're not going to like turn their back on her where they don't like her or hate her, but they are definitely going to start to mature, and it won't be the same. She's not going to be touring. She's not going to be doing all of these things into old age. This is old age right here. And I literally just said she's getting older, and so it's time to sit down. You know, as much as people came after Carrie Hilson, I kind of feel like that's more applicable now. You know, go have some babies, go sit down somewhere, whatever Carrie Hilson said, even though that was very mean. And she's only a year younger than Beyonce, so I'm like, what is she talking about? Yeah, but I feel like Beyonce is definitely going to start to sit on her throne, chill a little bit more. She's getting tired. She's getting tired, and something could be going on with her health too. I don't know if she has some surgeries here, because I think she has. I think she had a mommy makeover, allegedly. I'm seeing pregnancy cards, and I feel like this is giving me like hospitalization, having a baby, and getting some work done. I feel like she had work done before. Okay, so I'm gonna put these cards back and start all over for the rest of these questions. And then this may be kind of long because it's been a long time coming. Y'all been asking me for a while. It's been like a month or so. Yeah, this was a month ago. A little over a month. So I want to let's see. I just want to make sure I'm not missing a bunch of questions. Some of these questions, it really is hard to read. Okay, let me see. If the girl is beyond Beyonce's work level and they can't control her, I think is what this person is saying. Not in the, you know, the group. Y'all know what the group is. Y'all hate this corny, you know, that Illuminati-ness. That's what this person is talking about. What would happen? Will it overpower? Will it actually work? So they want to know if this person does not take the oath. I'll just say it like that. If this new person does not take the oath, will they still be able to have superstardom, fame? Will they be able to beat the program, beat the system? Let's see. I don't believe so, but we'll see. Will they be able to beat the system? This new artist. Okay, you got the Four of Cups and you got the Empress here. Give me more. This person is showing up. Y'all saying Beyonce is mother. She's showing up as mother. Okay? She's showing up as mother. You got the Page of Pentacles. You got some yeses here. You got like a no, maybe, and then like 2 yeses. Okay. So I feel like this is her not drinking the Kool-Aid, is what I heard when I just looked at the way this person is drinking from this cup. I feel like this person is not taking, you see all these offers being made to this person and they're drinking from their own cup. There's something about this person, they don't really play the game. They don't play the game. And they're going to be well loved because they have a big heart. They're going to be well loved. And they're a master at their craft. But look, it's going to create a burden for them. It's going to be an uphill battle. This person will not be able to beat the system. The system is airtight. It's a well-oiled machine, you know. And so, no, they will not be able to beat the system. But I do feel, I was getting a message here about this person coming in, kind of playing the game at first to get their feet in the door, and then branching off. So let me see. What is the Four of Cups here? Because it looks like this person is not drinking. They're not drinking the Kool-Aid. They're not. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups. They're not drinking the Kool-Aid. What's going to happen with this person is they're idealizing fame when they initially come in. Knight of Cups. This is an entertainer, a singer, dancer, poet. So they are very creative, very idealistic though. This person is extremely creative, very soft-spoken, very sweet, right? But they're going to come into this. It could be even coming from like humble beginnings here. They're going to come into this industry with rose-colored glasses on. They are. But when they realize, and they will realize, when they realize, they're going to say no. And this is doors being closed in their face. So absolutely, they will not beat the system, right? They're going to find a workaround temporarily, but they're not going to beat the system. What is the Empress here? The only major so far. They're going to be okay, though, without it. Could be that their fan base is so strong that they find a way. They find a way to be content. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think this person will not build a fan base. They're going to have a fan base. They are. I mean, the Empress is about being very settled, loved, supported, cared for. I mean, she's a really good person at galvanizing other people because she has a really good heart, really good intentions. And so this person will have a fan base. But it gives me, I keep telling y'all, the similarities to Michael, you can't escape them. It's not the level of success that's the same. It's the experience that's the same. So this is like child energy, young person energy, somebody that is either coming into their prime, coming into their own. This is like a coming of age experience. We will be introduced to this person when they are on the younger side, or they have been in the industry behind the scenes. I don't mean like signed to a label. I mean, this is a person that's always been artistic. This is a person that's been performing and mastering their craft since they were a child, just like Michael. But the problem is, the industry is the industry. And so it's like, okay, you come in, we make this offer to you. You accept the offer because right now this is about wearing rose-colored glasses. You know, the Knight of Cups is somebody who idealizes situations, very emotionally driven. But when you start to reject offers, when you start to say, I'm not signing that contract, I don't want to do this, you start asking questions, doors close in your face. Okay. So let me see what the Empress is here about overpowering the system. What is this about? Look at this, y'all. 6 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, that's the dark side of fame. That's being shamed, just like Michael. That's when you fall from grace in the public eye. So the system is you know, batting 100 right now. They are never going to allow someone to come in and undermine the system they have in place. I'm so sorry. This person is not showing up as like a savior of anything. They are showing up as somebody that comes in the same kind of energy like Michael, has a good career, right? But there will be something that happens. And y'all know what they did to him? I mean, this man's image and reputation has been destroyed, you know, at least when he was alive. And now everybody wants to, you know, sing his praises and act like they didn't treat him like crap. But that's what this is. Like, this is literally like you are getting the dark side of fame. This is when you're not as famous as you used to be. Your 15 minutes of fame are over. It's negative publicity and, yeah. Give me one more. The Tower. Yep. So absolutely not. Now, I could read the Tower as her coming into, you know, destroy a paradigm. She is coming in to destroy a paradigm. However, she's not going to be successful. 6 of Wands in reverse is a failure. And so I do get that this person, they will be rewarded. They will be acknowledged. They will be celebrated as long as they play the game. When they're not playing the game because they want to play the game, though. They don't know it's a game. Once they realize, I'm sorry, y'all. Once they realize that they're in the game and they try to pull away and they try to do their own thing, that's when things fall apart. Yeah. And so they're going to kind of go through the same ritualistic lynching that Michael went through. And I've already talked about that. Yeah, I've already talked about that. But they're going to have their following. Look at this. Ended up in the hospital bed. We talked about this before. Under mysterious circumstances. Yeah. Unfortunately, this industry is this industry. You know, it just is what it is. Okay, so what is the next question? There's more people that aren't in the group than there is this end? Will it be enough to overpower or overshadow beast? Hierarchy. I don't think this person is really in competition with Beyonce. I don't. I think their energy is more in alignment with Michael, but the thing is they're not going to make it to Michael's level. I don't believe that. They may make it to Beyonce's level. So let's see. In relation to Beyonce, how does this person show up? As far as this hierarchy goes, will this person overshadow Beyonce? The Tower. That's the element of surprise. Scorpio, Aries energy. The Hangman. That's like stuck energy. Pisces energy. Queen of Wands. Is that Queen Bee? I call the Queen of Wands Queen Bee. Y'all know that's what they call Beyonce. It's giving main character. This person is, they got a little feisty side to them. They're very smart too. Strategic, attractive. No, they're not going to overpower or whatever. What was the word? Overshadow. They're not going to overshadow Beyonce's hierarchy because Beyonce is already, like I said, she's solidified. This person is going to come in and they're going to create a stumbling block though. It's going to be a bit of a shakeup. It's definitely going to be a bit of a shakeup. Whomever this person is, they're extremely smart. It gives me how Michael was always strategically like responded to his opponents. Y'all know how like Eminem tried to come at him and then he went and bought the company that owned Eminem's publishing. Like, you know, he was making moves like that. This is very strategic. This person will outsmart the system to a degree because they're going to find a workaround. But I want y'all to understand that doesn't mean that they're going to beat the system within the system. The workaround is that this person will find a way to still be relevant outside of the industry. This person wants no parts of the industry once they get in it and they see what it is. They are here to shake some things up. Look at this. Fighting. Look at this. Fighting. But it's an uphill battle. And yet change is inevitable here with the Wheel of Fortune. Change is inevitable. And you got the Eight of Cups here. Yeah, they'll walk away from the industry based on some of the challenges that they go through. This person may even at some point move back to a country that they're from or end up living abroad. I don't see them like staying in the United States. Even if they're from the United States, they're not going to stay here permanently. They're going to have a residence in another part of the world. But as far as the question goes, no, they will not overpower, but they are going to fight tooth and nail for their beliefs. But they will not overpower. At the end of the day, like I said, the system is the system. The Tower falling can definitely represent them creating a shakeup, though. There's going to be a little bit of upheaval. It's not going to be easy for this person once they realize what they're in. Okay. What is another question here? Okay, that's not my check. I'm just not. Can you please look into this? I don't understand this question. It says, I'm sorry, but respectfully, last time I checked, and it says, are the non-ones they can't control more relevant or more mainstream? The ones they can't control are definitely not more mainstream. The ones they can control are the ones that's playing the game and the ones that get the rewards for it. But like I said, this person will find a workaround. The workaround is not going to be on the same level, you know what I mean, as being in the mainstream, but they'll create their own. Y'all know what it's kind of giving me. Just think of like Lauryn Hill. Lauryn Hill didn't want to play the game. And so Lauryn Hill never put out another album. And she decided to tour and keep singing the same 10 songs. You know what I mean? But that's how she makes her living. And she's like, look, this is just what it's going to have to be. So that's kind of what I feel like this person will do. They have a rebellious side to them. They're a fighter. They're feisty. They're sharp. Okay, so then they say, can you ask how many? Wait. Okay, so let me see this. You say, are the artists that are not controlled more mainstream? I say no, but let's see what the cards say. The Empress. The Tower. No. You got stability going into instability. No. The Eight of Swords. Look at the authority figure locking this person up. No, they feel trapped. They feel restricted. They feel like they have to deal with a lot of adversity. It's a dangerous game where they feel helpless. They feel like their hands are tied. And it's a money game. Yeah, it's the money game. Yeah, so absolutely no. They do not have more mainstream success. They go through more challenges. They're more unstable, even though they are actually the more talented. The Empress does represent talent, creativity, self-expression. So I do feel like the answer is no. They do not have more mainstream success because they are structures. There are like these fragile structures, but they're still standing right now. Yeah, this tower has not fallen. The crown is still on top. We talk about that crown a lot. And in the last reading, it was on the ground, and another deck is still here. It's still at the top. And that does represent ego. This is the before tarot, I think. I think this is the before. I think it's the before. It could be the after. I think it's the before, though. Yeah, so, yeah, the tower has not fallen yet. But this is very restricting. This is the energy of having all of the talent, right? The gifts, the abilities, but feeling like your hands are tied, feeling like you're restricted. So no, they absolutely do not have more mainstream success. Okay, so then let's see. This person wants to know how many celebs they can control. They can't control. Huh? Can you ask how many celebs they can't control? Will it take to overpower? Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying like how many celebrities that don't take the oath would it take for this to work? Okay, I don't want to sound like a pessimist, but the system is the system, y'all. System is the system. Star. Okay, what else? The Temperance card, the Eight of Wands. It will have to take a lot of them speaking out at once. Even the ones who have taken an oath. They have to break it. They will have to break it. Look at that. Look at the oath. The powers that be, the gatekeepers. As long as they cozy up to them, as long as they're getting support from them, as long as they're getting promotion from them, yeah, it's a collaborative effort. That's what I'm saying. And look, it's integration here with the World card. So you got the Hierophant that represents groupthink. The World card to me can be like mindlessness. Sometimes it gives me like monkey see, monkey do. Everybody is like moving in unison with each other because this is the ecosystem. And like I said, the system is the system. This is the system. So as long as they are getting benefits from it, they're getting support from it, they're getting promotion from it, this is how they make their money, this is the vehicle by which these people get paid, it's not going to happen. As far as asking how many of them it is, it's all of them. And this is what I always say, and I know people don't want to hear that. It's all of them. And understand that doesn't mean that everybody has taken the oath. But what that does mean is that you're still a part of the beast system. Because that's what this is. Sorry, y'all. That's what this is. It's the beast system. Plain and simple. And so you cannot differentiate yourself from the world. The World card is all the signs. It's everybody. It literally is the world, the planet. Okay? It can even represent the cosmos. So this thing is bigger than just a group of people standing up and speaking out. And I do see that if they were to use their voices in unison, because this is one song, the universe means one song, they could affect some kind of change, because you can't take out all your big stars at once. You got the Star, you got the Temperance, which is like harmony, like these people working together, symbiosis, being on the same page, a common ground. With the Eight of Wands, it's like speaking out. And the World card could be using your platform. It could be the fact that this is a worldwide phenomenon where everybody speaks out. Don't let it just be the one person standing on the island by themselves. They could affect change if they did it that way, because it would be kind of weird. I'm about to contradict myself in a minute. It would be kind of weird for all of the celebrities to all of a sudden start, the major ones, the big ones, their favorites, the ones that make them the most money, for them to all start to fall, right? But then I want y'all to think about what's going on with those scientists and how they're like strategically disappearing, right? Read between the lines. Do we think that that's a coincidence? No, I don't. And there's a reason why they're disappearing. We may not know why, but there's a reason. And so at the end of the day, these people, again, they're gatekeepers. Like a lot of times in my readings, I end up going off on a tangent because I look at things as more spiritual than just the surface level. And these cards kind of show me that this has really little to do with earthly things, right? This feels more to me like the earthly things are the distraction that makes us feel like we're in control, whether we're the artist or the person consuming the art. At the end of the day, these are the powers that be. They rule the world. And like I always say, everything is in divine order. Even the things that don't feel right, the things that feel like they are evil on the darker side, they have to be allowed by divine order to happen, or they wouldn't be happening. They're still a part of a prophecy being fulfilled. So I believe that all of this ultimately is to get each one of us to realize that we are the star. We should not be looking up to people in a capacity where we idolize them. It's okay to be inspired by people because that's what the star is, inspiration. But this is a spiritual card as well. And it's telling you that anything is possible, but you should be using your own magic to manifest the life that you want. And I feel like this temperance card is us finding more of a balanced way to look at people. Just because they have a talent doesn't mean that we're supposed to pedestalize them. Because then we keep empowering these very people that we're asking, are they going to be dethroned? No, they won't be dethroned as long as we keep feeding the system that feeds those artists, that feeds that system. It's just a cycle. You know what I mean? So to answer the question about how many it will take, this literally means all of them. And I do feel that they would have to be willing to sacrifice. Look at the humiliation ritual that happens as a result of it. They would have to be able to step up as leaders and not care what other people think. Speak their minds with confidence and not care what other people think. Be willing to be made a fool of and to go through the ritualistic ending just like you went through the ritualistic beginning to get you in it. They're all in it. Yeah. Can you face judgment? You know what I mean? Can you face judgment about something that you feel very enthusiastic about, that you love, that you're passionate about, that you want to do for the rest of your life? Can you face the judgment that comes with that? Because there is judgment. There's always going to be people that have something to say about you, whether you are in this industry, you get out of this industry, no matter what you do. I mean, just even as a regular everyday person, this holds true. Okay, so let me see. I have a question. Will there ever be a point? Okay, I already did that one. I have a question that makes no sense. If she's that good, what? I don't know what this is. If she goes beyond her and she's on the, I already answered that. Let's see. All right, so here's some more questions. I'm going to kind of move through these quickly because I want to get to the oracle cards and just kind of see anything that the cards want to say. Okay, so can you do another reading on this woman? Is she black? We already talked about that. Will she debut before 2027? That's a good question. I don't think so, but we'll see. I feel like they're still young. They're still training. They're still learning. They don't even have a record deal yet. So let's see. Will this person debut before 2027? No. Five of Pentacles. No. I get starving artists when I keep pulling that. This person could come from a really poor background or country or something. They feel outside of the industry right now. Could be the next 5 years. Yeah. 7 of Wands. So no, this is again facing challenges, blockages, and really feeling like they're the underdog. So that's what this person feels like right now. They feel like the outcast, the underdog. They have yet to be discovered. So no, they will not be debuting in 2027. If she surpasses Beyonce, why won't they praise her? Why won't they praise the new artist? Oh, okay. Why won't people praise this new artist if she surpasses Beyonce? Because Beyonce is already sitting pretty. And there's also a moneyed man here who feels somewhat like a gatekeeper as well. It's her status. This talks about having high status. Beyonce is like a nobility She comes across as like a nobility in my readings. And I think that's because of her affiliation with the quote unquote royal family. And also because, yes, she's worked her butt off and she's solidified her spot. Because life is unfair. It's an injustice. There's a lot of deception going on with this. Talking about abuse of power, hypocrisy, imbalance, injustice, and corruption. This businessman, this person that has the money. Money talks and bullcrap walks. Okay, 2 more. 8 of Cups. Because she's not willing to play the game. She's willing to walk away. She's willing to walk away. She's willing to walk away from it all. That's reckless abandon. Yeah. But like I said, you see how this person is drinking from this cup? They have yet to realize they need to walk away. But when they realize they're in the game, they will. But people won't praise this person simply because it's the game. It's the game. The Queen of Swords and the Death card. Also, they're going to be told what to say. They're going to be told what to think. And they're not going to want to buck the system. This change is being challenged by this Queen of Swords energy. Look at the couple there. Y'all know who the couple is. Sagittarius energy. Yeah. So this gives me that this woman will be able to rise to a certain point. Like I said, maybe she'll rival Beyonce, but she's not going to make it to Michael Jackson level, but she's going to have Michael Jackson energy. I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but that's kind of what I'm getting. Okay, she said a lady did a tarot reading and it showed that Billie Eilish didn't like Beyonce, nor Ariana Grande or Tyler, so I'm confused a little. If they are ever allowed to go beyond Beyonce, then that means that she's higher on the hierarchy then. Talking about the new person, I guess. Well, some things are divine. Let's see why this woman may possibly be able to advance to Beyonce's level or slightly beyond. 9 of Cups and the Magician card. They got lucky energy. This person is lucky and they're very talented, plain and simple. They're talented. You can't deny their talent with the Magician here. It used to be called talent. Okay, and this person is showing up as the one. See, the thing is, the industry is going to try to crown this person as the new Beyonce, the new Michael Jackson, all of that. But what makes it not get to that level is, number one, it's just not meant to get to that level. And secondly, I was going to say he or she, because it might be a man. I don't know. I'll just say she for argument's sake. She's going to walk away. And she's going to be content with whatever she takes with her. Because the 8 of Cups is here. And like I said, it's like she's drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit here until her spirit of discernment kicks in and she walks away from it, right? And then the 9 of Cups comes after the 8 of Cups, which is you being content with your choices. And it's also planetary alignment. And like I said, it's spiritual. This is a lot of accolades, a lot of fanfare, a lot of success is manifestation, 2 guards of manifestation. And so this person is showing up as an alchemist, a master manifester. But the reality is they are not going to want to play the game. This is a self-made person. This is a person that kind of does their own thing. Sometimes the Magician represents a know-it-all person. And I get like a little feisty energy from this person. It's like, look, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. Once they realize what they're in. See, in the beginning, they're caught up in the allure, the smoke and mirrors of it all. And a lot of times people say, well, how do you go in the industry and not know what it's about when we all talk about it now? It's not a secret. Well, because when somebody has a God-given talent, which is what this is, and they're in, the 9 of Cups energy, which is, again, planetary alignment, things just working out for you, being in the right place at the right time. It's Jupiter. So it's the energy of like, this is an inevitable success. This pathway is inevitable for this person. However, we're looking at it logically. This person is looking at it from the standpoint of, this is my talent. This is what I was born to do. I was born to shine. I was born to be on that stage. I was born to perform. And so like, really think about it. When you want it as much as you want air to breathe, of course you're going to give it a try. And you're going to probably have a little bit of cognitive dissonance where you're like, okay, I don't believe that I have to play that game, until you get in it. You know what I mean? Okay, so what else? So they asked if she's born in the U.S. I feel like I don't know how to answer that concretely, because I feel like the answer is a little bit of yes and a little bit of no, because I feel like they can have They could be biracial, or they could have a multicultural. Like, it doesn't even have to be biracial. It could just simply be showing me their person that's American, and maybe they have a parent that's from continental Africa or the UK or some other part of the world. Just work from that premise. I don't feel like both of their parents come from the same place, so I hope that makes sense. I feel like they might have a lot of different cultures, nationalities, ethnicities in them. But I do see them as a brown person, as a darker skinned person, meaning a melanated person of color. Okay? I wouldn't 100% say black, but most likely. Okay. Let's see if I'm missing anything before I move on. I don't know if I already answered this. If she surpasses Beyonce, how will the Beehive still see Beyonce as mother if this girl is beyond her? Because they're under a spell. Well, let's see. And I just got in my mind's eye Jada Pinkett. I saw Jada Pinkett at the Oscars when people were like, she nodded her head and she kind of activated Will to go up there and put hands on Chris Rock. That's what I'm getting. That's why she's mother. She's a high priestess. Beyonce is a high priestess in the industry. Eight of Wands. And she also has this international acclaim and success. Yeah, and she is Queen Bee again. And this is her beehive fighting. Yeah, so they're not going to be very welcoming of this new person. Once this person establishes themselves as the main character, they're not going to try to hear that. I heard the last name Porter. I don't know if the last name Porter will be significant, but I heard it. I also heard the name Jamie. So I don't know what that might mean. That might have significance. It may not. Could just be the initials, but I heard Porter and I heard Jamie in that order. But yeah, so Beyonce is showing up as the Queen Bee. Again, she's the main character. She's the one people focuses on. This is a woman in the limelight. Okay, this is the woman that is everybody's type. Doesn't Beyonce say she's everybody's type in a song? That's what she represents. So that's what it is. Her fan base is always going to fight tooth and nail for her. And also, it gives me that even though there's competition here, there's rivalry here, I told y'all before, Beyonce will work with this girl before she lets her surpass her. Knight of Swords. Yeah, she won't back down. She won't take no for an answer. And look who's here. The gatekeepers are protecting her once again. I told y'all that there's something here about Beyonce being a part of this hierarchy. The high priestess is the counterpart to the Hierophant. She's obviously married to a man who's in the industry, but I feel like this Hierophant, this man that shows up like a husband to Beyonce, is not Jay-Z. I feel like there is someone very powerful behind the scenes, because the Hierophant would not be Jay-Z. That ain't Jay-Z. Nah, that ain't Jay-Z. So that's what it is. It's the powers that be that keep her as the main character. I'm telling you, there are going to be challenges that this woman faces. She truly is. Because of the fact that she won't kiss the ring. That's what I'm getting. She won't kiss the ring. She's going to be partially initiated, though. But when she realizes what she's into, she's going to want out of it. Okay. What if celebs in the group praise her? Then Beyonce will lose her spot in the hierarchy, right? No. I'm going to answer that no, because the hierarchy is the Hierophant. The first three letters of the word are very similar because it represents the order. Okay, it represents the powers that shouldn't be. It represents Hollywood. Okay. Okay, I think that's it, y'all. As far as the questions go. If I missed anything, I ain't reading on this no more for a while, y'all, because it's starting to get redundant. Because I feel like I've already kind of said these things. And nothing is really changing for me. But let me just see if there's anything that Spirit wants to say about this woman before I step out of this reading. Spirit, what are you going to tell us about this woman? She takes control. She showed up as the Emperor. It says, in a relationship or situation, your passive stance has caused you to miss opportunities that should have been yours. Now is the moment to take charge, step forward, and reclaim what is rightfully yours. Y'all, I want y'all to understand something. So remember, the Four of Cups came out, and I said she was drinking from the cup, but she was going to realize, and she was going to say no to a lot of the offers, and that's about missing opportunities. So I do feel like this is that energy of her. Look at her fanfare. Look at those people cheering her on. This person up here will represent her. Look at all of these people with the fist up supporting, right? But I want y'all to think about, I hate to make a reference to this person, but, and I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to get my channel dinged, but the man whose name rhymes with Harley Herc, look what happened to him, right? He was able to galvanize the youth. He was actually supposedly being primed and set up to run for president of the United States at some point, but he started speaking out against a certain group of people. Do your research. And then you see what happened. You see what happened to him. They martyred him, right? And so we did have the hangman. I don't necessarily see this person being a martyr, but if they take it too far and they are able to have success outside of the industry, they will definitely martyr them. So yeah, it does feel like this person is like, I have my point of view. Look how big they look to everyone else. This person is coming here, and then you see the bird here, which does represent spirituality. There's something very spiritual about this person coming, but they have to watch out. This planet always takes these people out. It just does. This planet is averse to the truth because it's hell. It's hell, y'all. I keep telling y'all, it's hell. It truly is. That's what I believe it is. And this is why the people that rule this place do the things that they do and get away with it, because their Father, their Lord and Savior, and that ain't our Lord and Savior, but their Lord and Savior allows them to have it their way. All right, it says, reach up. The universe is calling you to stop trying to handle everything alone. Now is the time to accept support. Open your heart to others, for the force of destiny reaches you through the hands of those around you. And see, I feel like this is the beginning. I feel like this is how this person gets in the industry to begin with. Maybe they don't want to be signed. Maybe they just do want the success, the fame. But then there's going to come a time where they realize, in order for me to reach the masses, to have the true level of success that I want, I got to take that opportunity that's presented to me. This person is going to be heavily sought after in the initial phases of their life. Show me more about this person. Divine Feminine, that's the Empress and the High Priestess. The Divine Feminine within you is waiting to be awakened. The universe reminds you that this power isn't about outward strength, but inner wisdom and intuition. Embrace your softness and strength to become whole. And this woman is a true Divine Feminine. She is someone that is an actual High Priestess, where Beyonce is a dark High Priestess. What's at the bottom? Protect boundaries. You had the Seven of Wands come out like 3 times in the reading. Wow. It says, you naturally give to others, but now it's time to protect your energy. Set boundaries around your space to avoid being drained. Protecting yourself isn't selfish. Only then can you continue helping others. So they will pull away from this industry. They're not going to want to be a part of that game. Not for long. Okay. Now let me just get a couple of my own oracle cards, and then I'm going to let y'all go. Anything else we need to know? Show me some things in relation to the Beyonce questions. Where do I want to start? Now, let's start with what's going on with this person right now. Are they alive yet? Are they almost in the industry? What's going on with them? Okay, so this person is still undiscovered. Yeah, it says to be continued, in limbo, waiting. So we're still waiting for this person to be discovered. What else? Okay, yeah. This person is definitely... they're going to be neurodivergent, y'all. Like they're trying to say Michael was. And probably so. He probably was. They are a person that could be going through a lot of hardship right now with just trying to understand why they can't get their big break. Which is why they are going to take that initial oath. I don't want to call it the oath, but they're going to be initiated into it. Okay, now they have to tell you that you're signing up for it. They cannot lie to you about it. That's the thing. It's not really a deceptive thing because they have to tell you. You can't make a, create that kind of covenant without knowing what it is that you're doing. There is trickery involved, but when it comes to actually signing up, you're going to have to know what you're signing up for in order for it to be an actual agreement. So this person is still, they're going through their growing pains right now. Yeah, it says they're at a breaking point, a tower moment. This person may be homeless. They may start off their career homeless. That could be a part of their story. I feel like they come from really humble beginnings. They have a rough life. Yeah. So everything feels like it's at a standstill right now. This person is not making progress just yet. I don't see them really doing much of anything right now as far as fame and notoriety goes. Okay, you got a heart chakra attack. Yeah, it looks like they could be going through a lot of feelings of isolation. Feeling detached, feeling lonely, feeling like they are not where they're supposed to be. They're putting a lot of pressure on themselves to make it. Give me one more. Could even when they come in the industry say that they grew up without a parent or maybe even both parents or lost them in some kind of weird way. Maybe an accident or something. And they got the 3 of Cups here. Yeah. So look, this person may, if they are of age already, like I'm talking like at least 18, they may be doing like little gigs and clubs and things of that nature. I do not believe that they have yet like gotten a big social media following. They may be on social media. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but they're not there yet, y'all. They're not there. See, in the beginning, they're going to play along. Told y'all. And then they're going to admit defeat, the 5 of Swords. And Spirit is saying it is a feminine energy. It is a girl, a woman, but it's a girl now. Yeah, bankruptcy and dancing with the devil. There you go. Yeah. So this is going to be a situation where this person comes in bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, excited. It's going to be like a last resort for them to sign this contract or get into the industry because they want to do it on their own terms, but it's not working. They get into the industry shortly thereafter, or at some point, before they're completely engulfed in that, they realize, okay, I don't want this. They set their boundaries. They pull away. The industry doesn't really mess with them like that anymore. And they create their own lane. But if they have too much success on their own, they will still be under this attack because it's just how it goes. All right, y'all. I did want to look at anything that Spirit wanted to say about Beyonce, though. Since y'all asked me a lot of Beyonce questions. I just want to also see, like, when it comes to Michael Jackson, though, why the comparison to Michael Jackson? Why are so many people feeling like this woman can be compared to Michael Jackson? Because this person has the ability to have people pay attention to them, listen to them. They're influential. What else? People are followers. I think I said this in one of my last readings about this. It could have been a Beyonce reading, though. It's simply telling me people are followers. The Justice card, Libra energy. I think I said this last time. This person is bringing a level of balance. They're coming to balance the scales. There's something karmic about this in a positive way. This could be Michael trying to get his karmic justice, his divine justice. Is Michael's influence on this woman? Because I feel like it is. It feels like she channels him. And that may even be intentionally. It says, if you know, you know. Listen to your inner feelings, your gut feelings. Oh, Spanish. Maybe this person will be Spanish speaking. Maybe they come from a Spanish speaking country. Interesting. I did say maybe Black or Hispanic, even though there are Afro-Latino people and Afro-Latina people. So, yeah. Could still be a darker skinned person. I definitely do not feel like she is Caucasian. No, I do not believe that. I do believe this person has more of a universal appeal. And I do really get that they are, I feel like they're heavily melanated. Who can I say I'm getting from this? Y'all know Juju? She used to be on Love and Hip Hop. I know some of you may not know her. She used to be Cameron's girlfriend back in the day. Or fiance or whatever she was. She's Remy Ma's best friend. Y'all probably, some of y'all know who I'm talking about. Some of you don't. That's kind of aesthetically what I'm getting. You know what I mean? Like her color. But Juju is a Spanish woman. She is a Hispanic woman. She's an Afro-Latina. So, yeah, that just kind of is a perfect example of what I'm feeling. It's not like Afro-Latina like maybe Cardi B. Like they try to say she's Afro-Latina. I don't know if she really is, but not like her. I feel like the person's skin is darker, but I don't necessarily feel like they have to be black, even though I still think they will be seen as black, like Juju usually is. If you look at her, you don't talk to her, you would just assume she's a black woman. You know, a black American woman probably. Even though she does have kind of like an exotic look to her, but whatever. Let's see. Michael, what is your influence over this woman? So he's actually telling her, he has advice for her. New levels, new devils. It says jealousy, stress, competition, and drama. He's saying that this comes with the territory. As you ascend and level up, so will the test. Hate and challenges. Stay focused on the task at hand. He's also pointing out an issue with the mother figure. Now, you know, Michael had issues with his father, but he's pointing out a mother figure here. And his mother was actually a loving, nurturing mother, showing up as the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Now, that could obviously be Beyonce. That could. I mean, that's earth energy. Like a jealous woman, a materialistic woman, an insecure woman. He's telling her to watch out for the pitfalls, the financial pitfalls, the fact that when you don't play the game, they're going to come after you, and that you also have to fight tooth and nail just to get your spot. This woman is not going to be interested in fighting for her spot. She's just going to be who she is. But, okay, give me two more, Michael. What else do you have to say to her? Because I feel like his energy is connected to her. Recent breakup. Oblivion. Yeah. So he's saying that this is... oh, boy. I feel like this is dark, y'all. I feel like he's warning her about the dark side of things. I feel like he's telling her that this is going to impact her personal life, her relationship with family. Is going to affect her in every aspect, and that there will be a time where they will try to make you, they will try to erase you and all that you've done if you don't play their game. He's saying that she means well. She's showing up as the Page of Pentacles the second time. So it could be a strong earth sign. Consideration. And he's saying do things in moderation. Take your time. Be careful who you have around you. Watch your choices. He's saying she's going to be very wealthy. He's saying something is happening 9 months from now. Illusions and deception. He said it's history in the making. Didn't he have an album called History? Am I tripping? He said empire building. Creating a legacy and generational wealth. Family traditions, longevity, high status, affluence, and a firm foundation. He's saying don't rush in. When you don't understand something, don't rush in. Researching online. She's going to put her foot down. He keeps warning her about taking unnecessary risks. Right now, this person is showing up as the average Joe. That's Virgo energy. And that gives me that right now she's not a professional. She has not mastered her craft yet. She's still learning. Soft spot, Trojan horse, report, crunch time, personal growth. She's going to have success, y'all, but it's not going to be forever. It's not going to be to the level of Michael. It'll barely get to the level of Beyonce, and not because she's not capable, but because she is a threat to the establishment. And as long as Beyonce is in her position, whether she's still active or not, she's still going to have her position because the powers that be says so. All right, y'all, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Is there anything else that I wanted to know about her? No, that's it, y'all. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype the video if you can. I'm going to lay off of this one for a while. So if y'all have any more questions, it may be a minute before I do this reading again, just because I don't even know if I will. I think I've kind of already said everything I want to say about it, because this woman is not ready yet. She's not ready yet, which is why the High Priestess came out. The High Priestess is things going on beyond the veil, behind the veil. That's a spiritual thing. It's not about the physical world. It's about the spiritual world. So, like I said, maybe this person's not even born yet. That's possible too. Maybe this is something that comes 20 years from now. I don't feel a sense of urgency with it at all. In fact, I just saw the Chariot in reverse, which means that it's not coming quickly. All right, y'all. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype the video if you can. See you next time. Peace.